Hey, so you're thinking about moving to South Florida. You've heard of Jupiter, you know about Boca. I'm sure you've heard of Miami and Fort Lauderdale, but do you know of all the little secret cities along the way that you need to check into as well? I bet you don't. You're not gonna wanna miss this. Hey there, welcome back to Living in Jupiter, Florida. I'm Andy Johnson with the Andy Johnson Group. And by chance, if this is your first time joining us on the channel, make sure you click subscribe and ring that bell so you can be notified anytime we post new content about living here in South Florida. So listen, I really wanted to do this video today because I realized when I talk to people that are coming down here, how many people don't know of all the different places that they can live. And deciding where you want to be down here is where you need to start your search. You can find a great home anywhere. There's golf all over the place, great food, great shopping, but every place that we have has got a little bit different flavor to it. And so I wanted to do a little bit deeper dive into what locations you can choose from down here, give you a little bit of the nuance of that area, size, population, why it feels a little bit different than some of the other areas so that you can kind of springboard your search and look deeper into areas that might be a great fit for you. You're gonna wanna check out the whole video because you don't wanna miss that perfect place you may want to call home. So let's go ahead and get started and let's start talking about some areas. We're going to talk about places you've probably heard of before. And if you're not as familiar with South Florida, it's places that you're not going to know about at all. All right, let's get going. All right, so kicking it off, we're going to go with Palm Beach proper. So if you don't know Palm Beach proper, that's where Mar-a-Lago is located. And you've probably heard of that. It is basically due east from Palm Beach, and it is a magnificent place to call home, although not everyone can afford it. Starting prices on the island are going to be about $3 million. The average price of a single family home out there is going to be about $15 million, and it is an affluent island to say the least. Absolutely gorgeous place to call home. It really is hard to compare. There's only a couple places that you're going to find like it anywhere else. The homes that are out there vary so widely. The streets are so charming. The shopping is absolutely amazing. It's often compared to like a Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. And as you can imagine, the dining goes along with it. You know, the social scene is absolutely amazing with galas, beautiful golf out there, just everything that you could possibly want. And you've got different sections of the island as well where you can call home. The beach is absolutely beautiful. It's very private. You know, there's not a lot of public parking for the beaches out there. So, you know, you don't get as many people kind of swarming in on the island. And I find the beaches to be a little bit more peaceful to hang out at. Worth Avenue out there. Listen, whether you live out there or not, you need to visit. And Worth Avenue, walking down there, eating, shopping is just an experience in and of itself. Driving around and seeing the homes that are out there it's just absolutely fantastic. And the crazy thing about out there is, you know, a lot of those homes, a good majority of those homes are going to be second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th homes. And that's just what it is. Driving by Mar-a-Lago is really cool. Just seriously, if you can't live out there, take a stroll. If you can live out there and want to call home, I mean, there's no reason that you don't, right? The bottom line, the reason that people don't live out there is because it's just a little bit unaffordable. For many, the population is going to be around 9,000 people. So there's lots of little kind of hidden walkways out there. Palm Beach is a really, really cool place, and Palm Beach is not to be confused with West Palm Beach, which is something altogether different. So let's keep moving. Let's go down on our list and visit the next one. All right, so on to the next, we're going to talk about Boca Raton. Boca, as most people know it around here. Boca is another one that most people have heard of in South Florida. The average price of a home in Boca for 2024 was about $1.8 million. Boca, again, is a very affluent area. You know, most of the schools on greaterschools.org, if not all of the schools, really are going to rate really well. On a public school spectrum, and then you have a lot of private school options there also. Boca is renowned for its shopping. The mall out there is absolutely fantastic and has everything you need. You've got your Louis, Saks on Fifth, Gucci. It's a really, really nice shopping center and mall out there. The population of Boca is going to be about 100,000 people. Amazing, amazing golf and a lot of country clubs to choose from as well. The beaches in Boca are absolutely pristine. One of the only drawbacks to the beaches in Boca, to me, is it's very difficult to find parking sometimes. And honestly, compared to some of the other spots, the Boca parking meters charge a lot more, which is a small thing. But listen, I'm just letting you know. They just did a really cool, or they're doing some cool condo projects in there. They did the Mandarin Oriental built a new condo hotel project down there, and there's a couple other new condos right down there as well, that are, if you're looking for a condo, are definitely something worth knowing about. In that condo area, you have Meisner, which has got a lot of shopping, a lot of parks. This is down by the water, so we're talking East Boca here, but Boca does stretch really far out west. Obviously, the other benefit to Boca, or one of the other benefits to Boca, is your proximity to Fort Lauderdale and Miami. Obviously, it's going to be much closer than when you're up in Palm Beach or Jupiter. It's just a quick jaunt down there. You've got a beautiful nature preserve called Gumbo Limbo, which is something to check out as well. So again, Boca, most people have heard about. And listen, I'm here to give you, what we hear and the real nitty gritty about Boca. Sometimes Boca is known to have a little bit of an attitude about it, or can. I haven't really experienced that myself. I think it's a great place. It's absolutely beautiful, but you'll hear that if you're down there, and so I'm obviously going to share that to you. I wanted to tell you something for all of you with college-age students or soon-to-be college-age students in Boca. You have FAU as well. Great school. Your kids are looking to be near the water and live in a great area. FAU is definitely something worth checking out, so I just wanted to make mention of that. All right, so Delray Beach, once upon a time, was named one of, I believe, the top beaches in the entire country. The population of Delray is going to be about 60,000 people. Now, we can always send you a map so you can kind of see the cutout. And one small thing, just so you know, in Palm Beach County, anytime there are little enclaves within these cities that don't fall into them, you're going to live in what's called unincorporated West Palm Beach. One of the benefits of living in an unincorporated West Palm Beach address is you're going to have county taxes only and not city and county taxes. So the average price of a home in Delray was running about $1.1 million. The housing market in Delray has been hot for a long time. It's a really sought after place to live. From a greaterschool.org website standpoint, the public schools don't tend to rate quite as well in Delray. We do have something called the choice program, so people will try and get their kids often into Boca schools, or a lot of people do choose. I know a lot more people that choose to do private in Boca if they have the means to do it. Obviously, it's a personal choice. It's just something that I'm telling you that you need to investigate. If you have school-age children, you're going to want to look into the school ratings and see what's acceptable to you and what's not. Now, one of the biggest things that Delray is known for is going to be Atlantic Avenue and kind of the social scene that you've got going on in Delray. Delray has just got a buzz about it. I mean, it really does. Like, it's just kind of popping a little bit. That's probably an old man thing to say. My kids would probably laugh at me, and maybe you guys are too, for saying a word like poppin', but it is what it is. When you're down on Atlantic Ave, it's such a cool, fun place to be. There's so many great restaurants down there. There's great shops down there, and not just on Atlantic Ave. Like, you can spin off, and the downtown is absolutely fantastic. And that runs right into, Delray Municipal Beach, which, again, one of the top public beaches in Florida. However, how they rate that, honestly, I really don't know, but it is a really nice and cool beach, and definitely worth checking out. You also have a lot of other things to do in Delray. Side note, one of my favorite areas down here, just this little pocket in Delray, is called Lake Ida. Freaking love it. Not inexpensive, but its proximity to Atlantic Ave, the layout of the homes, the feel of the community. it's one of my, it's just so cool. It's definitely worth checking out. And then another little hidden gem that you need to know about that's right on the water is going to be Highland Beach. That's a spot that not everybody has heard about, and it's definitely a place to check out if you're looking for a condo, a waterfront condo. Typically search Highland Beach because you've really got some nice selections there. So just something worth mentioning. You also have the Pineapple Grove Arts District, which is totally worth checking out. Murakami Museum and Garden. I've been to that before for a food truck event. Actually, we've gone a couple times. It's a really fun place to walk around. It's a beautiful garden and great place to take the family or just go by yourself even and walk around. Extremely beautiful. Anyway, Delray is just, it's a really great place to live, whether you're looking for social, nature, you know, it's got it. It's just, it's one of those that after you're there a little bit, you just feel it. It's got everything else, everywhere else does. You know, you've got the golf. Oh, one other thing about Delray too, as a side note to some folks that may be watching this, may not, really large selection of 55 and older properties in Delray. So a lot of 55 and older condo options specifically, and single family homes in Delray. If you're looking for a 55 and older, Delray is somewhere that definitely needs to be on your radar. But if you're looking for something artsy, social, great energy, Delray is where you need to check out. And by the beach, like I said, Highland Beach is something that you need to look into. So on to the next, keep moving. Don't stop watching, folks, because we're gonna have more of those little secrets like Highland and things that you need to be looking for and you need to check out when you're doing your searches. So here we go. All right, so here's one that I had not heard of until I moved here, and that's Boynton Beach. Boynton is a cool little place to call home. It doesn't have the energy that Delray does, but it is just to the north of Delray. Boynton, I feel like, is more of kind of a local spot, if you will. Look, anywhere you go, you're gonna have snowbirds, right? And it's another one too, like Delray, just so you know, if you're 55 and older, put Delray or put Boynton on your radar. You need to check it out. A lot of 55 and older options. But as far as the younger population in Boynton, I definitely feel like it's more of a spot where a lot of families live. There's a school district in there actually that a lot of people seek out called the Park Vista School District. That's a high school, and really, again, this is a greaterschool.org thing. If you look all the way down from Park Vista and below, the neighborhoods that are in there, the schools that feed into it are just really sought after. It's a great area. It's out in West Boynton. Now, one of the drawbacks to Boynton is it doesn't have its own downtown. And so they've talked about working on that in the future, but anything like that I think is a little far off. Boynton is a much more affordable option, right? Ding, 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 ding. If you're looking for a better deal, Boynton needs to be on your radar. And I'll tell you something else too about Boynton for me personally. When we first moved down here, I lived in an area called Wellington, and Wellington is farther out west. And so we had like 3 choices of places to go to the beach that were somewhat close. I could either go to Palm Beach, which was amazing, but I told you parking was hard and parking was expensive, so I didn't go there all the time. I could go to Lake Worth, not my favorite beach. I'll tell you why a little bit later. Or I could go down to Boynton, which was just a skosh farther. I love the beaches in Boynton. If you're coming down, let me know. I'll tell you exactly where I used to go. It's still one of my favorite beaches to go to in this area. So yeah, just gonna throw that out there for you. So you do have also out there the Boynton Beach Inlet as well. For all you boaters, you have an inlet, which is a cool thing. Some beautiful homes right along the water as well, and there's some great nature areas too. Here's the thing about Boynton to me, it's just kind of there. Boynton, and why I think not as many people have heard about it, is it just doesn't have as much of an identity as, like, you know, let's say Boca or Palm Beach or Jupiter. It's just one of these places that kind of flies under the radar because it's not really known for anything, but it's a great place. And that may be one of the reasons that you can get a better value. You know, who knows, location, but I mean, it really is in close proximity to shopping. Boynton's mall sucks. Boca's mall is awesome. I can't help it. I didn't make it that way. If you're looking, for a great shopping experience, I'm telling you, nobody is seeking out Boynton Mall. It's just what it is. It's growing a lot though, and it is a cool place to call home. I believe the population is somewhere around 60 to 80,000. So reasons to look in Boynton. You want a little bit more value for the home. You're looking for a 55 and older community. Maybe you're looking for a great public school district. Maybe you want to be close to Atlantic Ave, but you don't want to live in Delray because you don't want to pay the prices. All of these would be wonderful reasons for you to go and check out Boynton as a place to live. It is right kind of in the center of Palm Beach County too. I don't know, if I'm not having fun with this, what's the point in doing it? We're moving a little bit farther north now. We're going to Lake Worth. And listen folks, as a reminder, I'm gonna throw in some little secret towns, like probably a lot of you haven't heard of Lake Worth, but there's even some smaller areas within this that I'm gonna hit probably towards the end of the video. Lake Worth is kind of a hodgepodge of different things, and it's different. It's wild. Lake Worth is going to be a higher value location as well, meaning you can get a little bit more bang for your buck. Where you live in Lake Worth changes what it's like a lot. You have downtown Lake Worth, which is extremely eclectic. It's cool, it is, but it's only gonna be the right vibe for some people. I personally enjoy it. I'm trying to think of how to describe it, and other than eclectic, I don't really know. So you've got downtown Lake Worth, which basically runs into the Intracoastal, and then you go right across to Lake Worth Beach. Just so you know, there is a couple places I want to tell you about restaurant-wise. One, Benny's on the Beach. Benny's on the Beach is actually on a pier overlooking the ocean. I gotta tell you, one drawback to me to Palm Beach County, and it's good and bad, is we don't have as much like oceanfront dining, boardwalks as other places have. Good and bad, right? But Benny's is on a pier overlooking the water, great food, good drinks. You walk out on the pier afterwards, really, really freaking cool. Another place too, that you need to check out, which is a little bit farther south in an area called Lantana, which is a great place for a condo on the water. Ding, 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 there's a little secret. Lantana, water, John G's, okay? Amazing breakfast. Write it down. If you're gonna be down here, check it out. You're going to wait though, just so you know. So when you're looking in Lake Worth, you have to take a lot of things into consideration. There's a spot where location matters. So for instance, kind of the downtown area where we were just talking about, and this is from a client perspective I have, you've got kind of Lucerne Avenue, which is one of the main downtown roads, and then it runs north and south from there. You've got really old school Florida homes, like old Florida homes down there, and it's really awesome. No HOAs. Insurance can get a little crazy because a lot of these homes were built like around the 50s, and insurance companies don't like that, but they are so cool. Now, as you move a little farther south, a little bit farther north, it can get a little bit dicier from a crime standpoint, so you need to check crime stats and make sure that you're comfortable with where you're looking right there. Then as you move west in Boynton, it gets to be affordable as well. You have a couple cool places right there to call home, but again, a little bit more affordable. And then as you move out to West Lake Worth, it changes back to kind of like more of kind of like what West Boynton would be. So there's a lot of family style homes. A lot of 55 and olders are there as well. You have to know where to go within Lake Worth to get it. Also, you have a lake where you need to pay attention in there because there's a Lake Worth water utility that can get very expensive in certain areas, and so you need to know where that is too. Okay, I wouldn't mention it if it didn't cost so much, but it does. There are some cool little places in there too, though. Like one, God, I hope I'm saying this right. Atlantis, yes, Atlantis, is this cool little golfing community down there. It's actually its own little municipality. That you go in, they've got a couple golf courses. They actually have their own police force in there. I mean, it's just this enclave of homes. It's no bigger than a subdivision. It's freaking awesome. So if you're a golfer, definitely something worth checking out. Now, on from Lake Worth, which again, Lake Worth is good for you, 55 and older. you're looking for something a little bit kind of eclectic, crazy, artsy, family looking for a more affordable option in South Florida, these are reasons that Lake Worth should definitely be on your radar. If you go west in Lake Worth, you are going to hit the south end of the first place that I lived when I moved down to this area, and that is Wellington. Good old Wellington. So I'd never heard of Wellington before, folks. I got to tell you, when I moved down here, my wife and I didn't know the area that well. We basically took some time and just went city to city to city, and our criteria for for what made us choose a place is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not even going to share it with you because it just anyway, call me, I'll tell you about it. Wellington, the village of Wellington's population about 60,000 people. If you are an equestrian, you have heard of Wellington. If you're not, you probably haven't. Wellington is a massive equestrian population and equestrian area. We're talking polo and other fantastic events out there. Big money out in Wellington on these horse farms. I don't know, self-admittedly, a ton about the equestrian real estate market. I know some great agents that do. It is its own thing altogether. You have the horse jumping and the horse trotting and polo, and there's names for all of these things, and I don't know them. I just don't. I know where my parameters are and my barriers, but it's still an awesome place to go visit during polo season and stuff. Like if you're ever down here, which is during our main season, go out there and check these events out. Like you can go on your own, you can take your spouse, you can take your entire family. It's really freaking cool. It's a great time. And Wellington is not just equestrian. Beautiful, beautiful neighborhoods out in Wellington. The reason we ended up in Wellington, and actually I'll share with you, one of our criterias was who had the nicest beach, which is silly because I'll be candid, folks, I don't even go to the beach that much anymore. I just don't. Busy doing other things, golfing, stuff like that, but I just don't. And Wellington is much farther west, right? Like to get to the beach, direct shot, Palm Beach, this is where I first lived. I told you earlier in the video, it's, 25, 30 minutes. It's not close to the beach. But when we drove in there the first time we went in, it was just such a well-kept area where we were that we just absolutely, we loved it. Greater schools, the public schools rate pretty well. You have some absolutely stunning golf courses, just like everywhere in Florida. And then, like I said, you have a lot of these horse farms, and as you kind of push west, these just amazing. When I was there, which was a little over a decade ago, Wellington was really kind of self-contained, and it has everything that you need, right? Like there's a Costco out there, you had all the, Wellington had a mall, you have your shopping, you have your restaurants, everything is there. But I just felt really like that's it, like it's there. It takes about, from where I was, it took about, 10 to 15 minutes to get to the turnpike. And then it took me probably about 20 minutes to get to 95. And I just didn't like that. Real estate agent, folks, I go north, I go south, I drive a lot, and I didn't like being so far kind of out there and removed. But it's a really cool place for the right person. I think Wellington and this other area I'm going to tell you about, Royal Palm, have like a little bit more of a blue collar feel to them. But I mean that in the most complimentary way possible. I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all. Like people, I don't know if it's people are just a little friendlier there than some of the other spots, or I don't know. Maybe I saw more trucks. I'm not sure exactly why it makes me feel that way. And again, I mean it as a compliment, but it's just something that I want to give you to kind of process it as you're out there, see what you feel. And so Wellington, the prices are going to be, they used to be a little higher. If you get in the equestrian stuff, it's very pricey. But if we're just talking regular single family neighborhoods, townhomes, things like that, I feel like the last couple of years, and I don't really know why, that their prices have been held back. And there's no good reason for that compared to appreciation in some other areas. This does not mean I would avoid it. It means I would, if you think this sounds cool, I would go there because you can get a great house. But you also have Royal Palm Beach right next to Wellington, which has like areas like La Mancha. And La Mancha is non-HOA neighborhood that people know about here that they just absolutely love, right? Because you've got quarter to half acre lots, and it's just a little bit more spread out and affordable, and so people just absolutely love that. Wellington schools rate a little bit better than Royal Palm, so Wellington tends to be a little bit more expensive than Royal Palm. There's some other reasons too, obviously, but that is one of the things. Again, these are things you can look up on greaterschools.org, but just something to check out. And just to give you kind of points of reference too, because I realized I forgot to tell you on Lake Worth and Boynton. Lake Worth and Boynton, both the average home cost when we look at, again, the average, we're coming in around 400,000. Wellington's coming in around 650. I don't want that to skew your view of Boynton and Lake Worth though. The reason for some of those lower prices are some of the condos and things in the 55 and older communities. There are definitely multi-million-dollar properties in both of those locations. It's just, when we're using an average, it kind of gives you an idea. Wellington, you would get $20 million property, no problem. And that might just be for the horses. I'm telling you folks, if you don't know about equestrians, like the amount of money people spend on horses absolutely blows my mind. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying I didn't know. It's freaking crazy. But, I guess if you got it and you love horses, why not, right? So anyway, that's Wellington. Royal Palm. If you're looking for maybe, like I said, complimentary wearing, a little bit nicer people. Wellington and Royal Palm, I also feel like are big, family areas. You're going to see a lot more family areas, not as many 55 and older options out there. I feel like you probably have more year-round residents there than snowbirds. You definitely have snowbirds still, but that's kind of what you've got going on out there. So, if you're looking for something like that, the beach isn't important, but you want great shopping, great restaurants, then Wellington Royal Palm is definitely something that you need to consider. So, all right, there we go. Let's keep going. We're hitting them. I know I'm throwing a lot of information on you, but this is good stuff, and I'm going to drop more. All right, so here it is, West Palm Beach, directly to the west of Palm Beach Island, which we talked about a little earlier. There's a lot of different areas of West Palm, but what I really want to focus on is the downtown area of West Palm. Downtown West Palm, though, is kind of unique for Palm Beach County. It's going to be much more similar to Fort Lauderdale or Miami, while being, of course, much smaller. But, what it is like a true, what I think of downtown, like big buildings, skyscrapers, condos, office buildings, and all of those wonderful things that come along with it, if that's what you're looking for. Walkability, which is something that's really, really important to people. So there is a lot of finance money coming into downtown West Palm. When I mean finance, I mean like Goldman Sachs. Office space is being built. They're actually calling it the Wall Street of the South as more and more comes in, and they are building like crazy down there. Downtown West Palm is an awesome place. So you have Clematis down there, which is going to be really similar to like Atlantic Avenue down in Delray. Not quite as big, but really great. Tons and tons of places to eat down there. And again, if you live in downtown West Palm, you walk anywhere that you want. Now, right outside of downtown West Palm, which are really, really cool, you've got like Flamingo Park and Northwood and these older Florida homes in these beautiful neighborhoods. Not inexpensive homes, as you may well imagine. The home prices there are probably going to average out starting at about, I'd say, $1.5 million on the low side and moving up. The average price of a home in West Palm is going to be just over $1 million. But again, what you're looking at is that including some spaces outside of just the downtown West Palm area. And so it includes a lot. Downtown West Palm also has the Travis Center, an excellent place to take in big shows, theater shows is what I mean, but you do have some comedians and stuff that come in there too. So that's a lot of fun. Like I said, you're just across the water from Palm Beach. The airport is right there as well. And then walkability is just absolutely key. You got some arts down there, which is fantastic. And then you have City Place too, which is right around the corner. I don't really know how to describe it, but very, very close to Clematis. And it's another spot of just concentrated restaurants and shops to go and hang out, and really cool. The farmers market in downtown West Palm, which is basically at the eastern end of Clematis, that they have during season is absolutely fantastic. Totally worth going to, whether you want to shop or not. I mean, it surrounds Clematis. It's got a big park area down there too, with a fountain and just vendors everywhere. And then they run all the way up Clematis. It is a great way to spend a Saturday morning. I love going there. They've got an awesome arepa stand that, again, call me, I'll tell you, because I think there's more than one, and there's a seafood purveyor that I really like and a cheese purveyor that I really like as well. Most of the produce is fantastic. I haven't really bought any of the other goods there, not because they're bad, but like the clothes and the jewelry, just I haven't, so I can't speak as much to quality or which ones I really like there, but some really cool artists and things like that too. So, you know, downtown West Palm, if you're looking for that city life, if you will, right, that's where you want to be in Palm Beach County. You know, that's where you're going to live in a condo. You're going to be able to go down, not even have to hop in your car, have tons of restaurants, a lot of shopping, and just be able to get anywhere that you want to get to. You also have the Bright Line, which has a stop right there in the area, and you can hop down to Fort Lauderdale and Miami, the airports, things like that. So that is what's rocking with downtown West Palm, and why you may want to call that area home. School-wise, I'll be candid, folks, I haven't had anybody by there recently that family-wise, everyone that I've had there, it's not that families aren't there, but everyone that I've had go down there has either been a couple or a single individual. And so I truthfully don't know how the schools rate in that area. I don't think it's fantastic. So, you know, you're probably going to be doing private if you want higher rated schools. And then again, surrounding, one other great thing about there, like I said, is if you are into like old Florida homes that are just absolutely immaculate and really well done, these are historic homes that we're talking about, then the surrounding area is really cool too, and definitely something that you need to check out. It's one of my favorite areas. I love they all have a lot of character. So it's a really cool place, really cool place. And then that, I'm gonna hop us a little bit farther north, and we're going to go to North Palm Beach. So we basically go West Palm, Riviera Beach, Lake Park, these are the big ones, and then North Palm. A lot of people have heard of Riviera Beach, so I'm gonna hit on that really quick. You know, this is a something data driven, so that you can look at it. You know, crime rates are higher there, so a lot of people tend to steer away sometimes that I work with. Don't need to. There's some great neighborhoods there. A lot of people have heard of Singer Island. Maybe some of you have not. Singer Island is a barrier island basically directly to the east of Palm Beach Gardens. Singer Island is actually Riviera Beach, just so you know. So if you see some condos on the beach in Riviera Beach, you know, you still may want to check those out. So I just wanted to make mention of that before we go on to North Palm. Okay, so the village of North Palm is not super large. It is the population there is only about 14,000 people. It's a really small area, but really cool. Got some great golf there. It does run right up to the Intracoastal, and then, you know, right across from the Intracoastal, you have Singer Island. There's some really nice old Florida homes there on kind of multiple levels. You can find some homes in the probably $600,000 to $800,000 range in these older Florida homes, and then you can get up in, you know, 5 million plus as well. And there's some really cool neighborhoods. A lot of these neighborhoods that I'm talking about are non-HOA neighborhoods, and I absolutely love them. You definitely have gated neighborhoods as well. You know, North Palm, Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter, Tequesta. I'm going to talk about all of them separately. They all kind of combine. North Palm, from a residential standpoint, where I was just talking about, I really like. You know, when I think of North Palm, I think of this main thoroughfare that runs east and west, which is North Lake. It's a very commercial road, not the most attractive, but it's kind of the one that goes that way. And then it's got some great restaurants, but these all kind of feed together. So it's like if you live in North Palm, you're gonna eat in Gardens and you're gonna eat in Jupiter, and vice versa. So it's not, if you live in North Palm, the mall is in Palm Beach Gardens and it's maybe like 10 minutes away from you. So it's more, once we get into this North Palm Beach County area, a little bit about like maybe what type of home you are looking for, more than like, okay, you're in North Palm, so you're farther away from this, but we'll kind of talk about it. One other thing that I want to mention about this area, and kind of include a little hidden gem, if you will, to me right now, and is Lake Park. Now, this is why I'm going to call Lake Park a little hidden gem. There are some major developers that have gone in and built some they've purchased a lot of land. They're currently building a property called Nautilus. The Nautilus is a beautiful condo building that's being built on the Intracoastal. The units are selling for over $1 million. When this was being built, I was kind of like, I don't know how they're going to get the numbers that they're getting, but they are. And the rest of Lake Park is kind of made up of, again, of a lot of older Florida homes, but very affordable, very affordable. I think, this is just my opinion, and I obviously could be wrong, but I think 5 to 10 years from now, the value of the homes that we're seeing in that area are probably going to increase significantly. Now, there are some cutoff roads running north and south that you need to kind of pay attention to if you want to look in that. But if you were looking for an investment property down here, or looking for something for yourself kind of long term, that you wanted to see a better potential gain on, I think Lake Park is definitely a consideration for you. So anyway, that moves us, we're going right on north and kind of bumps us right into Palm Beach Gardens. So I personally live kind of right in between the lines of Palm Beach Gardens and Jupiter. And Palm Beach Gardens, I absolutely love it here. I absolutely love Jupiter. I'm partial. You'll see in other videos, I'll absolutely tell you that. We're finding ourselves at the north end of Palm Beach County. So once you get north of kind of Riviera Beach, Lake Park area, and you get up here, like, we really don't have to deal with traffic most of the time, even on the highway at rush hour. It's worse, right? Like running east and west, there's still traffic, but I mean, compared to Boca or Boynton or down in Fort Lauderdale in 95 during rush hour, like, it's nothing. And I absolutely love it. Palm Beach Gardens it's kind of like North Palm, right? Like world-class shopping, world-class dining. The Palm Beach Gardens Mall has Louis Vuitton and Gucci, and you've got your Tesla store in there, and Bloomingdale's, and every other kind of boutique shop that you want, along with a lot of other great stuff as well. You've got downtown at the Gardens, which is actually being completely redone right now and is absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite areas, Boca has my other one, or one of my other ones. I told you about Lake Ida earlier, but one of my favorite kind of corridors, if you will, runs from PGA National north to Donald Ross, running east and west all the way through. It's so nice and so well maintained. And one of the nice things about Palm Beach Gardens that a lot of people don't realize until they're here is, if you pay attention, there's no billboards, and they're not allowed to put, like shopping centers, you can't put signage up on the roads. So it just feels very clean and not cluttered. Like, you can tell, I didn't know what it was for a long time when I was here, but it's just the green space and how they laid it out. It's just absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love living here. It's a great place to call home. It is an affluent area up here, but you definitely have different prices to choose from. You are going to pay more money to be in North Palm Beach County. This is not just Palm Beach Gardens. It's going to be North Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter, Tequesta, Juno Beach, all of those. You're going to pay a little bit more money to be here than Boynton, but great. Most of the schools, middle schools and lower, rate pretty well on graderschool.org. High schools, you got to kind of pay attention depending on what rating is acceptable to you or not. A lot of people in this area do send their kids to private school. So just something to be aware of. All right, so let's move on up. Okay, so here we go. Jupiter, like I said, I'm right on the line of Jupiter and Gardens. So I don't know what to call home really, I guess. But I mean, there's just nowhere like Jupiter. Anybody that lives here absolutely loves it. It's changed a lot. Even since I've been here, you know, you talk to people that have been here 30 years, and I mean, it's a completely different place. Jupiter and Palm Beach Gardens are kind of contained, and growth is a little bit stifled, if you will, because of how or where Preserve is and how far out developers can push out to the west right now. So that keeps it feeling a little bit smaller. You have the Jupiter Inlet, which is great. You've got Dubois Park or Dubois Park. Dubois, it's not. I don't know who started that. It's not Dubois. It's not pronounced Dubois anywhere else in the freaking world. It would be Dubois. I call it Dubois. It is what it is. It's wrong. I'm telling you, but it's right at the same time. It's a great place to hang out. Great restaurants. They just did this place called Love Street up there, which already added on to other restaurants that were in that area. Utiki is a great restaurant, one of my favorites. Guanabanas is a really cool place to hang out as well. Oh, down in Gardens, by the way, just while we're talking about restaurants, River House, awesome place on the Intracoastal that you absolutely have to go to. And right across from the River House, they're actually currently building a new Ritz development. Like the Ritz-Carlton is building a project right on the water, and it is absolutely fantastic. So the population of Jupiter is going to be about 60,000. You also, what's cool about Jupiter is you can push farther out west, and you have an area called Jupiter Farms, which is completely different. Done an entire video on Jupiter Farms, but unique area for South Florida where you push farther out west and everything is on at least an acre. There's actually some 5-acre properties out there, no HOA. So for people that want privacy and kind of be able to do whatever they want, that exists as well. The vibe up here, folks, like just in North Palm Beach County, again, I've already told you where it's just more relaxed to me. It just is. Like, it's just like, I go see my parents and my sister down in like Deerfield, Pompano, and like, I don't know, I just feel myself getting more tense. The farther south that I go, it's just more people and more traffic, and it just feels more hectic. And when I'm here, it's just what it is. It's why I love it. Yeah, beautiful beaches, beautiful water, beautiful golf, amazing restaurants. And it's just such a fantastic place to call home. Really, really great parks as well. And then that takes us to Tequesta. Tequesta is awesome. So Tequesta is just to the north of Jupiter. I told you we were talking about Palm Beach County. Tequesta technically can fall into Martin County too, but hey, whatever, who cares? My video, my rules, right? So Tequesta is the quietest of them all. I honestly would love to live in Tequesta, but I told you I didn't like Wellington before because it was removed. Well, Tequesta is kind of the same thing. Tequesta is all the way east on the water, just north of Jupiter. And the truth is there is really no reason to go to Tequesta unless you want to be in Tequesta. Meaning, like, you're not cutting through Tequesta to get anywhere for the most part, or the majority of people aren't. If you live certain places, fine, you're cut through, you make the argument. But so it's really quiet. Tequesta, to me, more than Jupiter or Palm Beach Gardens, just has this even more kind of relaxed beach town, you know, live on the water vibe to it, whether you live on the water or not. Awesome restaurants. They're kind of hidden a little bit, a lot of them, so you got to know where you're going. I love it. If driving was not an issue for me, I would absolutely live there. I would. But if you're trying, you know, if you got to head north and south like I do, and you got to get to the, you know, the turnpike and 95 and things like that, it's just, it's too far removed. But it's such a cool place. And actually right there, here's a little hidden one for you guys. All right. You're looking for something on the water, just a quaint community. Listen, prices are going to start about 2 million, maybe even 3, whatever. Jupiter Inlet Colony. It's like Lake Ida in Delray to me. I mean, I just have these little communities that I just drive through and I love. It's got its police force. It's just this little freaking amazing neighborhood. And it's not inexpensive. I mean, there's some oceanfront properties, you know, $20 million, but absolutely stunning community. Totally worth checking out. I can't say enough about this area. I like all of Palm Beach County, truthfully, but you can tell I'm passionate about here and where I live. If I didn't love it here, I wouldn't live here. So anyway, Let's keep moving. All right, Juno Beach. Juno is something that a lot of people haven't heard of, but the people that know about it want to be there. Juno is another one where it's basically just kind of like due east from Palm Beach Gardens. It's this little area. It's got its own police force, super clean, super quiet. I mean, you're gonna eat in Jupiter, you're gonna eat in Gardens, and you're gonna eat, you're gonna shop here. But Juno, just as a little self-contained area, has some really, really beautiful neighborhoods. It's got this one, I'll tell you if you call me. It's got this one little area where it's right by the, I'll tell you where it is. It's right by the police station in Juno. There's a beautiful little pond right here and a park and parking access to get to the beach. And it's one of my favorite places to go to the beach because I like seeing people, but I don't like seeing a ton of people. Like for me, Miami Beach isn't my scene. Like maybe when I was back in my 20s, that would have been a good time. Now, I don't need it to be a desolate beach where there's no one, but I don't want to be able to touch your towel. As a matter of fact, I want you to be farther away from me. A wave, I'm not trying to be like antisocial, but give me some freaking space, right? But so Juno is another little one that, really cool and worth looking at. If you don't know about it, some great condos in Juno, some great single family home in Juno as well. So I'm gonna hit you with a couple more small places that if you haven't heard of some of these, that I've already gone over, you definitely will not have most likely heard of some of these other ones that are really cool communities and worth you knowing about, worth you doing some research on, depending on what you want. The population of Juno, just so you know, just so you can get an idea of how small this little area is only about 4,000 people. So anyway, price point in Juno, here, let me see. I don't even know if I put that down. Yeah, I don't know. If I had to guess in Juno, you're probably running about 1.2 million or so to get in there is what you're looking at. There's some stuff that's a little bit less expensive, if that's where you'd be. But let's go on to the next one. All right, so here we go. Listen, if you're into luxury and that's on your radar and you can afford it, Manalapan. All I'm gonna say, Manalapan. Just check it out. You're gonna spend some money in Manalapan, but it's beautiful. It's farther south towards Delray, right on the water. Another one on the water, totally worth checking out. You don't have to spend as much as Manalapan necessarily, is Lantana. So I already mentioned to you about Lantana earlier because they've got one of my favorite breakfast spots that's not up in where I live, called John G's French toast. I don't even like French toast, but French toast. It is a cool little oceanfront area, great little vibe, great condos. You've got some single family stuff there too. Again, those tend to be more pricey, but just awesome little beachy area. It's got a great beach access to, and something that people don't know to look for, right? Like Jupiter, Boca, maybe West Palm, Lantana is totally worth checking out. Another one that's on nobody's radar, by the way, is South Palm Beach. Really small, just south of Palm Beach Island, like on the water. Some really nice condo buildings there. South Palm Beach. If you're looking for a condo on the water, check out South Palm Beach. And then another one that I wanted to mention to you is Greenacres. Greenacres is out in the Lake Worth area. Very affordable, more bang for your buck. A lot of single family homes out there. That's for the person, for one of two people. Either A, you're coming and you want a super affordable 55 and older, kind of condo, or you're looking for a permanent residence. And I don't want to put it in a box. You can get in there for whatever reason you want. But single family homes that you're going to get more bang for your buck. You're going to be farther north than Boynton, farther north than Lake Worth, and you're just going to get more home for the money. So if that's what you're looking for, Greenacres needs to be on your radar. You need to check it out. There's even some new construction there that is, like I said, it's just, if price is an issue, Greenacres. All right, so let's keep going. All right, so here we go. These are the last two that I'm going to mention, and believe it or not, there are some other secrets. And like you've probably heard me say, there's hidden gems in each one of these communities, and I'm gonna kind of wrap these two in. I already told you guys about Jupiter Farms. The other one that I wanna mention to you is Loxahatchee and the AG, which is basically due west. It's south of Jupiter Farms, almost directly south of Jupiter Farms, and due west of West Palm Beach. The southern border is really actually a road called Southern, and the northern border is North Lake. So it's a big area, and it runs east and west. So the majority of the acreage is what I'm going to call it the rest of the time is going to be lots on paved and dirt roads, mainly no sewer. It's all well on 1 acre or larger properties, and no HOAs anywhere out there. Now you have some 5-acre properties out there, you have some agricultural exemptions out there, you have some horse farms out there, and more recently you also have new construction out there as well. Westlake is a community that is being developed that is, it's like 10,000 homes when all said and done with, and they're built. We've done videos on it. You can watch them specifically on Westlake. It's a really cool area. You're just farther out west. So that's something to know about. And then on North Lake, there is a ton of new construction going on out there. We've also done videos on that as well. Avenir, it's like 7 different developers, and there is sign after sign of new development that is going to be going on out there. I mean, like I told you, Jupiter and Palm Beach Gardens kind of prevents things from going out to the west due to land being denoted as preserve right now, but they can do that out on North Lake. So if you're looking for something that gives you more space, non-HOA, the acreage is going to be priced better than Jupiter Farms. It may be something that you want to consider. The schools rate fairly well on greaterschools.org. Prices are reasonable, but there's really no townhouses, no apartments. If I had to guess, the average cost of a home out there, you're probably running somewhere between $650 and $850. You definitely have some large homes that are more magnificent, the horse farms, which we've already talked about, but that for a normal kind of single family home, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, you can actually get a new construction home out there for about $800,000. So it's a great place if that's what you're looking for. I have no freaking desire to mow an acre of grass personally, but God bless you if you do. So is what it is, right? Okay, folks, we've covered a lot. So many things, as a matter of fact, and there's more out there. I've tried to give you a snapshot of why you may want to live somewhere, why it might be the right place for you, to try and give you a better idea of where you need to do more research. By no means is this couple of minutes on an area a full dive into what it offers, what it is, or what it would mean to you, or how you would view it. But I hope that it gives you a better idea of what your options are when you're looking in Palm Beach County. And again, this is just Palm Beach County, right? You could hop into Broward, you could go up to Martin, you can go to Port St. Lucie. Like, all of those are right here. And in any of those, I've got my team set up to help you. So I tell so many people come down here from out of the area, and we have a quick consultation with them, and it's like, well, what are you looking for? And it always starts out, well, I want a condo, or I want a house, and I want 3 bedroom, and I get it, and that's great, right? That's very relevant and important information. It is, but there's so many different places really to live, and they're all great. They are. Like, if you decided to live in Delray, I don't think you're going to hate it and love Jupiter, or vice versa. Now, you may end up loving Jupiter more or loving Delray more if you're actually there, but you're not going to hate either one because they're both awesome, just like the rest of these. But I think if we can hone in on what really makes a great community for you, you're going to enjoy the home that we find you so much more. And it's just something that we're here to help you do, is to help you identify the different places that exist, the different options that there are. And there's more than I listed. There's so many more that I listed that we can tell you about and help you with. And this is such an amazing place to live. It truly is. Nowhere's perfect. We've got our flaws. Happy to tell you about those too. It's always fun to have a good, bitch session, if you will. But it's a wonderful place to live, and we're here to help you. We're here to guide you. And I really appreciate you watching the videos. Listen, all our information is below. Please reach out to me, call me, email me, text me anytime. If you didn't do it before, like our video, subscribe to our channel, and watch the other videos, because we do deeper dives into kind of the overview of what I did just right now. So anyway, thank you for checking out the video. Continue to watch for more, and have a great day.